Buy first or sell first? Find out in today's Real Talk. Today we have the wonderful Reno Parnanzone. Reno, you've been a sales representative with our team for about a year and a half. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Peter.
The big question that we're getting asked a lot right now is, should I buy first or should I sell first? Do you find that people are coming to you with this question?
Almost every day, Peter. Almost every day we have at least somebody calling in saying, what should I do? And it's buyers and sellers just asking, well, what's the best course of action, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and I guess there's no clear-cut answer, but what's generally your advice when you get asked this question?
So you're bang on. There's no clear-cut answer because everybody's situation is different. So what we like to do is have an upfront conversation with our clients and just really get to know what they're after, what they're trying to do, what market are they buying in, what market are they selling in, are they first-time buyers, do they have a contingency plan in place? There's a lot that goes into it, so there's not a clear-cut answer. But
yeah, and sometimes it will be clear, like, yes, you should definitely buy first, or yes, you should definitely sell first, but sometimes it's not very clear, and sometimes you have to change your strategy.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You had a client, I think, that had to change their strategy very recently.
That's a fantastic story. Well, it turned out to be a fantastic story, but when we first started, my client was going to be buying and selling in hopefully the same market, and what ended up happening, we started working a few months back, and she was getting in competition on properties, and we lost a couple times. The market changed a little bit, and all of a sudden, properties were sitting a little bit longer. So ultimately, we had to have that conversation of, hey, your house may not sell as quickly as we thought, and we quickly changed our strategy to listing first and then buying after. The benefit for her was now she's gonna know exactly what she has in her pocket to buy that dream house. So yeah, it could work, but you have to be able to pivot. And again, every situation is different. So you really have to have an upfront conversation with all the professionals involved.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit more common now that we're giving advice to sell first and go and buy.
Yeah.
Because generally it's much easier to buy something these days.
Yeah.
And there are a lot more opportunities in the market if you are buying.
Yeah.
Certainly, like in Waterdown, Burlington, if you were looking at a condo townhouse a few months ago, that market was really, really tough to get into.
Yeah.
And now there's a dozen in each neighborhood that you can choose from, more or less. And you had another client that took advantage of this opportunity.
Another great story. We had a client that was in the market for a condo townhouse, and this was going back just at the cusp of the highest point of the market, and they lost a couple times, but we kept our head up and kept looking, and then all of a sudden the market started to change. There was more listings coming out, and at the end of it, they ended up securing something better, freehold, so no condo fees for less money. So, again, you have to be able to pivot in every situation.
Yeah, so lots of opportunities, but it takes a lot more strategy. It's not across the board. Yes, definitely you should hold offers and you're going to get X above listing, or you should list at this price. It's not as clear cut. It's very much case by case.
Case by case, day by day too, right?
Day by day.
The market is changing day by day because tomorrow 5 homes could come up for sale on your street, and all of a sudden you have to pivot and kind of change your game plan. So
yeah, a lot more strategy, a lot more thinking in the background. That's the general attitude of the market.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much for coming on, Reno.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.